to really repair and heal and remove that inflammation. They love these foods and they like to eat these foods all the time. It's kind of a wake-up call for us to be like, you know what, it does matter what I eat. The right foods and removing the foods that are sabotaging your health, you can make a big difference, and almost like counteracting all the good that you've been doing with the good foods. And the situation going on right now is motivating us to think of our health a little bit more. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Whole Wellness Method video. I'm Lida Sportel at the upcoming lidashealing.com and founder of the Whole Wellness Method. And this video is part of the Getting Through the Coronavirus Crisis with You video series. And in this video in particular, I really want to talk about some foods that are sabotaging your health. And while I've talked about the foods that I suggest that you include in your diet right now, I haven't yet talked about the foods that I want you to try to avoid at this time. And the reason I will talk about these foods in terms of why I think they're really sabotaging your health right now and why I think they're actually making things harder for your body to be able to fight a virus, to be able to reduce inflammation, to be able to boost your immune system, is because those foods actually have been shown to be inflammatory. And when a food is inflammatory, I mean, that's a huge discussion. We could talk about that forever. But what matters to talk about here is when a food is inflammatory, it makes our body consume its energy. Our immune system goes and now has to work extra hard to try to quench that inflammation due to the food that I just ate. So think about what our immune system has to work 24/7. And if we are giving it extra work that it has to do because of the inflammatory foods that we're eating, that now our immune system and other systems in our body has to process, has to detox, has to quench the inflammation, has to actually even attack, thinking it's an invader. What a wasted energy that's going towards a food that I ate because I like the way it tastes or because I found that to be available and I couldn't find anything else. And now, how much am I taxing my immune system? And I'm causing inflammation in my body, which now makes me more prone and more susceptible to viral infections, to other inflammatory conditions. And so the whole concept about inflammation, it is a huge topic. It is something that we know now that it is the root cause of so many chronic diseases. We look at type 2 diabetes, we look at Alzheimer's, we look at other neurological conditions, and we find behind all these the concept of neuroinflammation, so inflammation in the brain or inflammation in the joints, and that would cause, joint pain and arthritis, and we find inflammation in the arteries, and then we have cardiovascular problems, and we have inflammation in the digestive system. So now we have digestive problems, or we have problems elsewhere in our body, not necessarily in the digestive system, but the inflammation is starting from the digestive system or whatever else the inflammation is. So sometimes you're not able to quite point out where the inflammation is because the symptom could be so far removed from where the root cause is. And so it can get a little confusing as to, is it really that one food I ate or those foods that I've been eating for a while that are causing this inflammation? Because I can't quite make the connection and be certain that this is what caused my symptoms. But what we do want to do right now, because of the crisis that we're under, is we want to support our bodies. We want to be really kind and um, give our bodies what they need to really repair and heal and remove that inflammation. So, in having made all this intro around why it is important that we avoid inflammatory foods, now I want to talk to you about which specific foods I think right now are important to try to remove. If not remove, at least reduce the amounts that you consume. And I know some of you might not like hearing this. And I know, for some of my clients, it's the same way. They don't want to hear some of that because they love these foods and they like to eat these foods all the time. But again, I think that the situation that we're going through right now is kind of a wake-up call for us to be like, you know what? It does matter what I eat. It does matter. And it is actually, it could even be life-threatening if I don't support myself enough where I can give myself the right nutrition. Now I am, putting myself in a situation where I could have detrimental effects from what's going on around us. And, they say, most of us are going to be okay with this virus, but the people who have pre-existing conditions are more, prone to have more damaging effects by this. So that's another wake up call. It's like, why don't I take care of my health all along and start with food, start with the right diet? That way, when things like that happen, I feel that I have already built a strong immune system, a strong body that can handle things like that. But it's still not too late. So if you're thinking, well, I've been eating like crap all this time, I don't have time now to change this, that is not true. You can start today, and by today just start to eat the right foods and removing the foods that are sabotaging your health. You can make a big difference. So it is not too late. And the other thing I wanted to say before I jump into the actual foods that I suggest that you start removing from your diet is that, think about it this way: the foods that I've been talking about that I think are important to include in your diet, they're going to be very nutritious. They're going to be helping you repair, and they're going to be helping you boost your immune system. They're going to be reducing inflammation. Well, what's the point of including good foods if you are going to be eating then all the bad foods and almost like counteracting all the good that you've been doing with the good foods? So it is important that we also have this conversation about the foods that we need to start letting go of. And again, I know it's not an easy discussion for some people. It's not an easy transition. But I think, again, the situation going on right now is motivating us to think of our health a little bit more, to think of our bodies, to take our bodies and our health a lot more seriously, to start tuning into how important it is what we feed our bodies. So all this, I think it is a big wake-up call, and it should be a big wake-up call for everyone to really consider those types of conversations that we're having here. So now let's talk about the specific foods that I think are really kind of sabotaging your health, and if you continue to eat those a lot, they are going to actually be lowering your ability to fight infections.